The third paper in this session, extending the reach of STEMI Olympiads and competitions through systematic interventions, reflecting on the collaboration between the Northwest Provincial Department of Education and the ESCOM Expo for Young Scientists. Mrs. Moloedi and Mrs. Mkhewe. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So, are the speakers ready?
Yes, Mmabatho is here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys can please switch on your cameras and then your 15 minutes starts now.
Okay, thank you. My name is Mmabatho Moloedi, and my co-host is Sianuke Mekwe. She's not available. I'll be doing the presentation alone. And the focus of our presentation is on how the collaboration between the Northwest Department of Education and ESCOM Expo has enabled the two organizations to be able to reach out to many schools in the rural areas. So our presentation will be focusing on 2 points. That is the contribution that the Northwest Department of Education has put through in order to enable ESCOM Expo to reach out to the schools. And also, it will also showcase how a provincial government can collaborate with the organizers of the Olympiads in order to reach the common goal. First and foremost, I would like to bring your attention to the factors that lead to low participation in Olympiads and competition. As we all know, in most cases, if there's any disruptions in terms of contact times in schools, most of the focus goes into the national exit exams. And that has an impact on the numbers of learners participating in our Olympiads and competitions. At times, we are expected to reach out to schools in remote areas, in rural areas, but we just don't have enough manpower. We don't have enough funding. And then you also find that with learners in those areas, many of them have challenges with having devices and also having access to data. And in most rural areas, you'd find that when coming to parental involvement, not many parents support their learners, especially when coming to extracurricular activities. The Northwest Department of Education supports STEMI Olympiads and competitions, and amongst those, they support the Maths and Science Olympiad, the National Science Week, and in particular, they support the ESCOM Expo for Young Scientists. In terms of the National Science Week and the Maths and Science Olympiad, what the department does is that it promotes the Olympiads through the PSFs, that is the peer support forums, and that helps in terms of increasing participation in the Olympiads. And again, what the department also does is to register learners to participate, and that helps the schools to reduce the cost. And in terms of the National Science Week, the department provides transport for learners to go to respective venues where these activities are organized. And so even if there are schools that are reluctant to participate because there's transport available, they are bound to participate. With ESCOM Expo, the department, first of all, it helps ESCOM Expo in terms of cascading information. For every activity that ESCOM Expo is doing in the province, the communication will come via the department. And as a result, the ESCOM Expo is receiving cooperation from schools. Again, the department is also assisting in terms of the funding on science camps and regional expos, as well as the ISF. So it helps in terms of securing meals for learners, securing transport for learners, meals, accommodation for learners as they go to ISF, and they not only providing transport, meals, and accommodation for learners only, they go as far as providing transport, accommodation, and meals for our regional science fair directors as well as our judges. So through this support, schools, it alleviates that burden on schools that if learners participate, then parents do not have to carry the cost of paying for the learners. And also it helps Expo in terms of, for the national subsidy that we receive, we are able to cover other expenses for our regional expos. It's not only the funding that we get through the department, but Expo is also getting assistance in terms of the human capital. The regional science fair directors, which are running our regions, are officials from the department. And we not only getting the support in terms of the regional science fair directors, we have representatives across the board within the department, starting from the provincial department up to the sub-district level, where there is a champion within each section who will be running Expo and ensuring that the information is cascaded right down up to our schools where we have our messes. And as a result of the support we are getting from the department, what is it that we are bringing to the table as ESCOM Expo to make this collaboration work? We provide a tailor-made intervention for the schools. We don't provide a one-size. Our resources are available and also accessible. And we also identify champions within the schools in order to run our expo. In terms of tailor-made interventions, we run the science day camps. I think they were already mentioned by some of the speakers already. Through these science day camps, we are able to assist learners in the rural areas to be able to access information on how to do their project, even if they are having challenges in terms of connectivity and also not having devices. On the other hand, we make sure that we also cater for schools where learners are able to access the information online through our online workshops. Over and above that, we also have the mentorship program in place where learners are able to engage with mentors, where they can be given support one-on-one and through the social media platforms that are available at their disposal. In terms of availability of resources and accessibility, our resources are available on the website. And for rural schools, what we have is a guidebook, which is specially designed to assist learners to be able to do projects from A up to Z without having to go onto the internet. So we make sure that learners in those areas get a hard copy in order to allow them to be able to be part of our competition. In terms of proximity, we have about 4 regions in the province, and these 4 regions covers the 4 municipal districts that we have in the province. And within those regions, we have sub-districts to make sure that all schools are able to access our services. For an example, if I was to take Ngaka Mudiri Molema, with Ngaka Mudiri Molema, our regional expo is normally held in Mahikeng. However, beside Mahikeng, we have other sub-districts. We have one in Ramotseremuilwa, we have one in Ratlo, we have one in Swaying, we have one in Ditsobotla, as well as one in Mahikeng, where it can cater for those schools. In doing so, we are able to reach out to all the schools within the district, and that is the case with other 3 regions as well. And with identification of champions, the department is the one that identifies these champions. They know who are the teachers that we need to get on board. Can I carry on?
Yes, you still have 5 minutes.
Okay, and the role of the champion is to advocate for Expo and act as a middleman between Expo and the school and offer support to the school. And through this collaboration with the department, over a period of 5 years as ESCOM Expo, we were able to reach out to, from 2015 up to 2019, we were able to reach up to 877 previously disadvantaged learners in rural areas. And over and above that, we have seen some growth in terms of the number of schools we have reached in which are in the quintile 1 up to 3. From having 33 in 2015, we're able to reach out to 124 in 2019. Again, I've indicated there the spread of the schools, rural schools that we are able to reach over this period as well. Although we were able to reach to so many, in Northwest, we have well over 1,600 schools. We wish to go out and reach to many more, so a lot of work still needs to be done. And the success story that we have had, we've had our learners benefiting from the collaboration, the support they received from the department, able to win prizes at our ISF. For an example, we have a learner, Fasika Musi, who was able to get an opportunity to win a bursary to the value of 400,000, a learner from Hebron. So these learners from extraordinary background would not be able to reach this opportunity if it was not for that extra support we have received from the department. The same applies to Palesa Masuku, who is now a qualified pharmacist and also had an opportunity to go and represent South Africa overseas through Expo. So this collaboration really gives our learners opportunities, and we need to forge such relationships with provincial departments in order to reach out to these learners. What makes this collaboration a success? We, as ESCOM Expo, we engage the department in the planning of the intervention, and the schools see Expo as being relevant to the curriculum. Expo is part of the LAI program, and then teachers can use some of our activities in their SBA. And we are accountable to the department. We provide the department with annual reports and event reports for activities that we conduct in the province. And then also, most importantly, we make sure that we adhere to the protocol, that when we conduct our activities, the most senior people in the department, they know that we are in the area and what is it that we are doing there. So in conclusion, I would like to say that we have seen some gains. We're able to reach out to many learners out there in the rural areas. This collaboration has led to some positive results, so we can only suggest that some of the provincial departments to adopt a similar strategy. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
We have a couple of minutes for discussion and questions. The question from Penny. I think it was the first speaker. Do students write up their results, for example, as an essay entries into the science/math Olympiads? This could extend the collaboration between projects and keep the momentum initiated by the Expo. I think it was, Penny, you can correct me, but it was a question for Andre and his colleague.
Yes, if I may come in on the side. I think it's always part of the Expo, and learners do write up all their projects. There's certain documentation that they need to complete. And obviously they enter that as a project as well for the Expo, ESCOM Expo. So definitely, I think when they register on the national database, they will see which documentation is needed, and they take it from there.
Perfect. Then there's a lot of comments on the work by the presenters of the second Krishnian team, with which I agree. So there's a lot of collaboration happening in the chat on this already. And I would recommend that I'm not sure who's responsible, but under Joyce from SASTA, there should be engagement on the second paper. So I'm just looking for questions, see if I missed something.
Thank you, Dr. Binneman. I've noted the chats. Thank you.
Yeah, so perfect. Then the last question, I don't know. I think it's for the last speaker. Is this program for rural schools only? And it's answered as well. No, it's for all schools. So that covers all the questions. I think. Is there any other questions, comments that we need to take note of? Then I think we can conclude this session. Thanks to all the presenters. Thanks for the quality of your papers. I recall seeing some of it in the evaluation phase as well. So keep up the good work. And I think that the ESCOM Expo is something that learners across the country knows about, and the rest of the system knows about. And it's one of the tools that I think is being used in rural schools.